Hello there, everyone! Zantok here with Slickstar Gaming, and welcome back to more Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, and Curb. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to find out who the fuck killed Ibuki!
Yikes!
I'm not happy, man. I'm not happy.
She was one of your favorites.
It's the first time a favorite has been murdered in these games. The closest reaction I would have had to this would have been Saika in the first game, but that was more of a, oh shit. You're first? What?
I get what you're saying.
Reaction was. Chihiro? Didn't give a fuck. Taka? Didn't give a fuck. Hifumi? That was a fuck yeah. He's gone. Thank you. Sakura? She was fine, but I didn't give much of a fuck that she was gone.
Okay.
She wasn't much of a character for me at that point. This game, Byakuya, that was a fuck yeah. Glad that happened. Mahiru was kind of in the same category as Sakura. It's like, you were fine, but whatever. Hiyoko was like, you know what, this is okay. I don't mind this. And then Ibuki's like, you motherfucker. We're gonna have words.
Words.
We're gonna have words, Mikon. We're gonna have words.
Yikes.
I still don't trust her. I don't. You sus as fuck right now, Mikon. You sus as fuck. So, alright, when the investigation ended last episode, my thought was pretty much, wow, that cleared up nothing. I am no closer. My thoughts are pretty much the same. And, you know, after having about a day to think about it, my thoughts are more or less the same, mostly from the fact of I still don't think it can be Nekomaru, Akane, Nagito, Fuyuhiko, Chiaki, or Gundam, which still just leaves the same three suspects of Kazuichi, Sonya, and Mikon. Sonya really just because she doesn't have an ally like all those other characters do. Mikon, though, is incredibly suspicious. Who would know about changing the temperature? So that they can't find a good time of death for the body, and therefore giving herself a convenient excuse. We found a dark room in the hospital with a projector. Kind of weird. It's also very, it feels very telling that they're trying to tell us, hey, these deaths didn't happen, or at least one of these deaths didn't happen when you think it did. So it kind of feels like somebody, what's her name? Ibuki was already dead for hours, but somebody did the little video session to make us think it happened right then. And there's a projector found in the hospital. Mikon, she's right there. That would have been, presumably the two of us would have been the only people there besides Akane and Nagito, so that kind of tracks. Hiyoko is still a big sticking point there, because supposedly Mikon should have been with Fuyuhiko at that time period that Hiyoko was being tied up. So I'm not clear on that, but more evidence points to her than anybody else. That said, the last two trials have also been, oh, so you thought it was this person. Well, you're only able to figure out late in the actual trial that it was because of this one piece of evidence that it was actually this person you never considered. Teru, Peko. So what? It's gonna turn into that it was fucking Akane this whole time? I mean, the way the last two trials went, could be, for all I fucking know. When they throw in the, water, and, portable stove that you didn't think about at all. I don't know. But as far as where the evidence is currently pointing me, it feels like it's a Mikon murder. And I'm upset at her. That's the truth. It's like
you're gonna be upset of it.
If you killed Hiyoko, like if it was just Hiyoko, I'd be like, you know what? I get you. She kind of deserved it for what she did to you. I don't blame you at all. If you killed Ibuki, we don't have problems.
Oh boy.
We don't have problems. Now, gotta do what we always do. Oh god, you're first. Just as I thought. This particular incident. Oops. We can continue this later, right, Hajime? What's wrong with him? He's even creepier than usual.
Everything's wrong.
But everything's right.
Get out. Get away. We're not talking to you. We're talking to Best Boy.
What?
I called Gundam Best Boy.
That was
was random.
Buy.
I don't know. It's about time I showed my serious side.
Wait, what?
Let's make history.
Jeez, how troublesome. But I suppose I can display my true power for the sake of our two fallen comrades.
Okay.
This is
It
bad.
wasn't grand enough.
Hey, what did Monokuma mean just now? Oh, don't tell me Nekomaru's already! Don't get distracted by the fuck bear. We need to focus on the class trial right now. I know, but...
I'm gonna do it!
Hey, what are you whining about?
The fact that Nagisa's here, alive, and conscious, and talking to me.
Hurry up and get this over with.
I would, but then I'd be the one that has to defend myself from murder.
And then we could go greet Coach Nekomaru with open arms when he comes back.
As a cyborg.
You're really sticking to that one.
Jeez.
Until the game proves me otherwise, yes. I already figured this, but it's best if we don't rely on Monami all that much. She's just saying stupid things and it'll just make us even more confused. Maybe we should shut her up for good. Okay. You playing big man now?
Hey,
Let's go. There's no time to waste. I know it's sad, but we need to move forward, and then we need to end this once and for all. I don't think next chapter is going to be the end, Chiaki. I'm sorry, but I don't think the game's structured that way.
Surprise!
Considering that there's more Monokuma shelves in our room, I feel like we got a few more chapters.
Oh, those are on school mode, don't you know?
Don't fuck with me.
Hiyoko, it must be my fault after all.
It's okay. Nobody likes her.
well,
Then I must learn the truth behind this murder, most foul.
Well, that yes.
Now then, let us proceed.
Yes, suspect number 3.
Number 3.
We haven't been helpful at all.
No, you haven't.
Couldn't even figure out an estimated time of death. I'm sorry, I'm such a useless piece of trash.
You also kept waving your alibi in my face so as that I wouldn't forget about it. Don't think you can play games with me.
Alibi.
I'm the one playing
Here's
games
alibi.
here.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're gonna be sorry when you get drawn and quartered.
Oh God!
We stepped onto the escalator and ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. And that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes kept getting smaller and smaller. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. And then the elevator got sucked into the mouth. And once everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, I realized that just as our silhouettes were getting smaller, the room in the elevator got larger. The elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Deeper and 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 deeper.
I wanted to descend as far as it could go. It finally stopped. Oh, that was Gundam. I'm sorry. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. Redecorated once more. My. It feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats.
Well, 2 people got killed at the same time. And Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No!
Why bother? He's the mastermind after all.
That's...
What?
Oh, right. I wasn't supposed to tell you guys that yet. Oops.
Well now.
Now then, let's begin.
Yoo-hoo!
It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. And so the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Well, but then my paranoia went up when she broke my lock. So there was that. But then also there was Hiyoko Sayanji, the ultimate traditional dancer. And just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying, to change herself, and she was desperately trying, to come to terms with Mahiru's death. The person who killed those 2 is a video game. Because Among Us.
Oh my gosh.
You know. Listen, I've been waiting a while to pull that one out.
We did that already, I thought.
Sort of, but not in the way I wanted to.
Ow.
Bye, Terror. I definitely can't believe it. Oh, that one's so red.
It really
but
is.
whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. I feel like they should have grayed out Nekomaru just to put like a question mark. Is he alive? I don't know.
That's a good point.
Wait, was he grayed out?
It looked a little gray.
Yes.
We'll go back and check.
Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost.
No
Who
matter the
took
cost.
cookies from the cookie jar. Was it you?
I plead the 5th. You have to speak to my lawyer.
Motherfucker. Those were for my birthday.
No, these were definitely mine, and I ate them.
Dude, this is my house.
They somehow were still mine, and I ate them.
How the fuck did you get them in the basement? Well, for our sake, for our friend's sake, for Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. Not that they really care anymore because they're dead. And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun.
Big God.
Alrighty then. E-handbook time. Okay, so, there's a couple... Where is it? Right, it's here. It's weird that it's in the report card. I don't like that. Couple things I'm considering here.
Okay.
Mainly, I need to get my list rolled to the right spot. I was looking at... Extraordinary focus to increase the focus gauge. Wait, did I? Okay, no, I didn't get that one. I was also looking at charisma to get more recovery with correct answers, but then I was also really thinking about where is it? Which one is it? I'm trying to find this. Melodious voice. It increases the damage to them. Remind me, Panic Talk Action is the rhythm game, right?
That is very correct.
Okay. I don't think I've been too bad at that. So I don't know that I necessarily need this one. I might just prefer to have increased influence recovery. I think that's just going to be generally more useful.
Okay.
Because I haven't
and
been...
those are the ones...
Because
Sorry?
since PTA, since we're doing gentle on action, PTA hasn't really been bad. There was that one point when we couldn't see what we were doing, but it wasn't that big of an issue for us. So I think it's just a better choice.
Fair enough. I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Okay, and now we see if we can equip it. Oh wait, whoa. The fuck? Oh, that's what I already had. I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember where I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And everything we have is equipped. So, hey, that's easy. I have to wait for the scroll to restart so I can do my usual thing. That's really annoying. I'm just waiting at this point. I'm kind of wondering, like, what kind of twists and turns is this case going to take us through? Because the last few were just like, aha, you thought it was this, but really it was like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The main thing I don't know is, like, why did somebody try and copy the movie somewhat at all? Was it to pin it on somebody else, somebody dramatic, like Gundam? I don't know. Anyways, the despair disease and 2 consecutive murders. The thought of a third-class trial fills the remaining survivors with despair. Why would the disease be a motive? Why did Ibuki hang herself? And why did Hiyoko's body suddenly appear? Survive the class trial? Where mysteries begets more mystery. And
Also kind of accurate.
Yeah. It's happened every time.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, there's still a
Now
point I
then,
forgot to bring up
let's
in the
begin
last
with a
trial.
simple explanation of the
still?
class trial.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get it after this trial is over, if I remember.
Oh my god, I hope we remember.
Maybe.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it.
Okay, I need to see... what Pekko's portrait looks like. Also, what they do for Nekomaru.
If you vote correctly, then
Okay.
only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person,
They'll turn into Swiss cheese.
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I agree.
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Nobody cares.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
That's okay. You're not that helpful either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Kazuichi, stop agreeing with me.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that?
A lot.
Listen up.
Oh dear.
The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
The sigh.
God damn.
Right.
Also, both games, we've ended up at a point where we are surrounded by dead people.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, too.
I don't like it.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments.
It's okay.
Since
we don't
he's
need
the
them.
first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms.
That's not the full story, Hajime, and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
I just remember that there's a missing hospital gown, too.
Oh.
Because didn't Akane say there was a missing one?
I think so, yeah.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Yikes.
Wished I wasn't here.
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue. And unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone. So I sprinted out of the hospital.
Yeah, I'm sure that's when you noticed.
Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
I don't need details in those various ways.
Oh no.
Various ways?
God damn it.
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
Didn't Monokuma say it was a buy one, get one free with the bag as well?
Yeah.
Okay, that clears up. Yeah, this thing was definitely a video that happened elsewhere.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Oh god, are we starting with swords already?
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious.
So are you!
Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Alright, fine. I didn't tell the truth about how I woke up this morning. Mikan was strangling me with her legs.
Oh boy.
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Yeah, I didn't want you to find out because it was weird.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
It's just as Kazuichi said. Nagito's the kind of guy who'll just confuse us and make matters worse. God damn it. I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that.
Nagito being Nagito.
Yeah, Nagito being a shit. What? Okay, so Peko just has the normal X.
Hajime's
What the
testimony is clearly suspicious.
I don't think
Hajime's testimony is a lie. And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility.
Nice
After all,
sticker, that's
Hajime is
weird.
the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie
Nope,
means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Wait. I'm not the killer. There should be a contradiction somewhere. Ah, yeah. Okay, now I know what to do.
Hajime's testimony is clearly
You
suspicious.
forgot I didn't see the
Hajime's
movie,
testimony
dum-dum.
is a lie. And the
Shit, what
fact that
button is it?
Ibuki hung
That button.
herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that. After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime...
the fact that the bodies were imitating them means it probably
What?
is Hajime's fault.
I was too slow, I guess. Alright. Game.
We're not
see
losing
you.
health,
Hajime's
so we're good.
Hajime's...
Yeah.
And the fact that Ibuki...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime kill both...
the fact that the bodies were imitating...
There we go.
No, that's wrong! I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Fuck you!
Oh my god.
Fuck off, Nagito. Nobody likes you, not even your parents.
Huh? Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time.
Fucking goddamn it.
Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Well,
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
well,
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
yeah, 10 minutes.
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
Da-da-dun.
If that's how it went down.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two, Sonia and Kazuichi.
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
Because nobody knows where you were.
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together.
And this is why I don't think it's another closed door mystery.
Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
Whatever gets brought up in the very beginning is never the solution. That's how all of these go.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru. Me too!
I told you! Mastermind!
Oh my god.
Hey, why are you talking like, huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you? Please stop making bad jokes.
That's how I have my living, though.
Anyway,
Also,
if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
Is it really that wicked?
No, it's fairly accurate. And it's a very question, it's like, where the fuck were they? The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it? I don't think so. Oh, Nekomaru just has nothing at his stand. That's boring. They could have at least had like a funny little drawing of him.
True.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door?
That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together.
You remembered the
and
silencer.
suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Okay, I was expecting something to appear at the end there that I could shoot, but let's see. That person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence.
The killer was
What do I
still
have,
inside the
though?
music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together.
Not very clear here.
It's not too clear.
No.
And suddenly appeared.
So they look like they...
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Okay.
I
know what
feel
you-
like... I feel like
The
it's
killer was still inside the music. By locking the door, they tried to keep us from getting in.
I feel like it's that first thing, locking the door
It
from the
seems they were
inside.
trying to stall for time.
And that
How did
maybe
they lock the door? That door
the,
should not
the
have...
broken
lock was on the
drumstick
floor.
isn't
You're
what
talking
actually
about the
kept it
You can
locked.
use that as a... By doing that, the killer
Okay.
waited till we
But-
gathered. And suddenly...
So they
I'm
look
not
like...
I
entirely
have seen this
sure.
in serial crime
We'll
dramas.
try that one next, yeah.
Yeah. Something
The
like the
killer was
glob
still
could
inside
have
the
locked
music
it from
venue.
the outside, so they just splattered it on the side
By
of the
locking the
doors.
door from the inside.
No, that's wrong.
Hey, there we go.
Well, there we go, yes.
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
Well, it sure didn't taste good, I can tell you that much. It wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glob was probably gummy candy.
Oh, gosh.
But no, glue.
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
Don't do that.
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
Oh, dear.
I believe it is
well-
not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly.
But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know?
That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
I also don't think it would have been that good at locking your door if that was their real intent.
Are you
It's a
saying
thin
the
stick.
drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia. And me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
Fair.
In a
Fair,
quarrel,
yes.
both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
Shut the fuck up.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
Really weird sentence.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I always thought the delivery was weird for that one.
It's like she's saying, man, I moved really fast for once. Wait, No, not me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue.
If she's not the killer, she's doing a real bad job of making it seem like it's her. She needs to shut her goddamn mouth if she's not the killer.
They must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hyoko's body was there too, right?
Wait a fucking minute. Do we have a picture of this? No, not that. Well, we don't, do we?
What are you looking for?
I was looking to see if we had, like, evidence showing when we first found Ibuki hanging.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to check to see that pillar. See if maybe it had, like, double wrapping on it or something.
But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap that was stuck in the baton lighting in the music video. Now, I should be able to figure out what it is. Hangman time, huh?
It is hangman time.
Alright, what word is it looking for? Oh, okay. Well, I can't bring up my thing to look at my evidence. Okay, well, fuck. I don't know what word it wants.
So whatever that scrap is, what is that possibly a scrap of?
I didn't mean to shoot the E like that.
No.
Okay, now I know what it wants. Okay, we're good now. I wasn't sure like what it wants to call it, because that's always the problem. Why? No, god damn it. Back here.
Hey, get back here.
Oh god damn it. I always hit the wrong thing. Oh Jesus, this is getting chaotic. Fuck!
Ah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, right, I can't. You know what? Fuck you!
I got it!
Fuck those letters.
There's just too much on the screen at once.
Yep.
That scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there?
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper, see? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
So, wait.
And what's wrong with that?
What?
Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
So, this is something I always thought was kind of weird about it, because, like, we have Nagitsu going, see, it fits perfectly for that small scrap for the whole thing of wallpaper. Did he bring a whole thing of wallpaper to the trial to be able to show that that matched? It implies that, like, it just shows, see, it fits perfectly, like, you just put it there.
I mean,
You know what I'm
was
saying?
no, I do, because I was thinking about bringing that up as well. I was like, how can you say it fits perfectly unless both items are here?
The
But I
answer
also
is
feel like sometimes
no.
that happens with Ace Attorney as well. To be like, oh, see, look at this evidence. It's like, did we really bring a bomb with us?
Ah,
Did we really bring that as evidence, Phoenix?
yikes.
Or did we just bring a picture? Like, come on, man.
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that.
Oh, then shut
my
the fuck
God.
up.
But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
That scrap of paper stuck to the baton lining was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. Oh, okay. See, I like the visual for this one. This one's fun.
Ooh. Oh. You weren't going fast
Oh,
enough?
I forgot about the speed up thing. Not gonna lie. I was like...
It's all good. It's been a bit since you've done this.
Points. Style points.
Style points.
Why did Yoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? Well, because it was hidden.
It was the hidden? That
Yes.
one Gmod version?
That's a thing?
Isn't that what I thought it was called?
I don't know.
Now I'm confused.
I've never seen anything called the hidden.
It's like one of the ones that CNNers got really well known for playing and like reacting to.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is.
I will have to show you later.
The only Gmod players I've watched are the Achievement Hunter guys.
Well, I'll show you one of his well-known later. Ooh, what did the killer use to hide her body?
Well, it wasn't the temperature. It's like I feel like I figured this one out right before Nagito said it.
Like, oh.
Yeah. Cause I was like, wait, but could I see a picture of the pillar? That's what I was looking for. It's like trying to see what the wallpaper was like on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't let me do it, so I was sad.
That was sad.
And how did they hide it? They covered it. Duh. Well, get in the blue. Get in the blue, dumbass.
Get in the blue.
Blue. Whee! No, I wanted to spin.
I wanted to spin.
It's all coming together. I got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
Congrats.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
Yes.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
With magic?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar.
It was a ruse!
Whoa!
So when I first discovered
That's what I
Ibuki's
wanted to
body,
see.
Hyoko's body was already there.
But I don't think I would have been able to tell from this picture. There's really not an obvious bulge or anything.
Well, here's something funny.
Although there's that bottom portion where the symbols are more whitish. That does look a lot off.
Okay, but and you're gonna get bugged. You're gonna get bugged for this, but not by this. I mean,
That's not
so.
hard to
You know pretty much what happened with the wallpaper at this point, right?
Yeah.
So they covered it and then ripped it away during the time that Hajime ran away.
Sure.
Consider that this picture is of the wallpaper not ripped down yet.
Yes.
The black scrap is still hanging off the baton though, like it had been.
Is that the black scrap?
Do you
Or
kind
is
of
that
see
like
it?
a camera thing?
Well, it doesn't have anything matching on the other one. It's actually supposed that is actual a visual issue. That is confirmed to be. It's not a camera. It's the wallpaper.
See, that's part of why when what's his name was trying to tell me to look up, because I thought that was just like something that they have on the line. Because look on the one on the left, it has that little those little lines.
The little
so
lines,
I thought it was
right.
just like something that's supposed to be there.
Yep. So I could have just maybe not pointed it out to you.
I would have noticed.
Shoot. Maybe.
However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Oh wow, yeah, that is a much smaller pillar. God
Right?
damn. Shit. I was looking at the other pillar when the dialogue changed, so I didn't notice the whole image was different.
oh.
The girl was like, holy shit. That pillar
Well,
lost
that's
weight.
understandable.
You've heard of
I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
Okay, sure. When you zoom in on it like that.
Right. I mean, I'm
You see,
just
look, you
saying,
see
like,
that the little lighting thing and then just to the right of it. I mean,
I get what you're saying.
that reason.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
I don't have the time to explain things to you, you big dumb rabbit.
Nope.
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
That's true, Monokuma, but that's a legal issue. You can't do that.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
Okay, hold on. The text says moss, but he definitely said moth, right?
Right.
The fuck?
I don't eat moss balls. I just enjoy looking at them.
But she
So
said
she's-
moss.
Yes.
What?
I know, it's
knew
weird.
it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I can probably explain that now. It was because they like movies. No, it's probably to mix up the order, I'm gonna guess here.
I see!
Hey, look
The
at
reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
Please do not say that sentence again. 'Cause that's
I'm
weird.
not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What is this series of dialogue?
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Because you're a big dum-dum, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was killed. That would mean Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Be right. Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Dum-Dum coming off real sus here.
Interesting.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
We'll get there.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there even any footprints at the crime scene?
Well,
Maybe
yes,
her
and they
feet were
wiped
on the
up.
floor.
I did say that
But
blood
she was
stain
like
footprints.
sitting or something. So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
What the fuck is
Weak,
wrong with?
weak, I say.
Okay, that was
It
funny.
doesn't even pierce my heart.
Especially after Kazuichi's big dumb statement there.
Mm-hmm.
Chiaki said Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed, but is that really true? Yes,
When
the gamer
Hiyoko
would
died,
not lie.
Ibuki's feet.
I am telling you to.
Did you see her walk?
If her feet was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that.
Break.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something.
It was a Lego. She screamed.
That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye.
Alright, back to this.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Okay.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Destroy the world.
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
Yes, I'm sane, and you are not.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Yeah, sure, I'll just interrupt all your dialogue by cutting it up. Well, which one does it want me? God, okay, it's probably this.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to
Shut up.
Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Did you see a nice nightmare? You're saying the blood on Ibuki's...
Now, here, let's see if I remember which mouse
Try
button is
to
the
remember
right
the
one.
crime scene. There was no
This
blood
one?
on the floor.
Yes, there we go.
Nice.
Allow me to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
And try to create a super tight time window that doesn't make sense for anybody.
Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact. So the killer probably did not know it either.
Or they wanted to make us think that.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikan's autopsy?
But who would know that?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
Yeah. Go feed your hamsters.
Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
So
Can't
do you want
just
to?
shut up and back off?
What was that?
There's something fun that you avoided, and I'm a little bummed you did, but it's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. So that there's something funny about this trial that was with that Gundam one that you just did, the little mini game. I don't know if you noticed, but all the previous times you've done it, you have to slash enough to advance.
Oh no, I
to the
noticed
next
that.
part. Yeah. So there's a way that you advance from that segment in Gundams, and that you like go further into the argument, and you get stuck. Like the next one is just like it's just like the conversation goes on, but the point was in the previous one you need to get to. So in order to actually get back to the correct answer, you have to intentionally fail the second part if you accidentally advance.
So they fucked up.
Kind of, yeah. They fixed. There was a similar one in situation in V3, but they fixed that one. That's not a spoiler. But in this one, you can easily get stuck. You can get stuck in Gundam's trap.
I did find it really odd when I was like, oh, wait, we're done. Okay.
Right, because if you advance, like, there was no correct answer to slash in the next one, you could get stuck there. So that's why it's like, oh boy.
Feels like a bit of an oversight.
I think that you think they did
I
it
feel like
intentionally.
QA should have caught that.
I mean, I think they did, because like you have, like, I don't know, it's clever enough because it's like you have to take enough damage to get back, and it actually says in there from Hajime, like, I went too far in the argument, look how far we've gone. Looks like I'll have to like retreat on purpose or something, and it tells you that you have to do that.
I don't like that.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. Because that comes when you're intentionally fucking with the players. And there's ways to do that with, you know, hey, mystery, but not with game mechanics. No, I don't like that.
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Yes, and he tricked information out of Monokuma, so I'm gonna allow it.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Suicide?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blackened to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hiyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive!
Oh boy.
Dude. Just die next chapter, please. I'm done with you.
When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
What? She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
Yeah, there's better ways to fake a death.
Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Someone fucking around.
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
Okay, this is something I wanted to bring up now that we can see this again. So this is more evidence that I think that this was a falsified video and wasn't actually Ibuki's hanging. I do question the stepladder. I do question that, but it could have been carried over and moved. But in this image, we do not see any hair. But when we see Ibuki actually hung, we see all of Ibuki's hair coming out down the bag. If she was actually hung, her hair is tied up in the bag right here, it should still be tied up.
Right.
Not true. Maybe that's a visual error. There's been a few. But, and also, you know, at this point, you know, there's the suspense of it all of who could it be? But it still seems very strange to me. Also, there's something else, I'm forgetting what it was. Oh, right, when the video ends, it just cuts to black, and we don't actually see the person being hung. They just get to this point, and then we don't see what actually happened. It feels very fake to me.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
Oh, they didn't have to use hypnotism.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
Monami giving Mikan bunny ears. Well done. Well done.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
Yeah.
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Interesting coming from a person who doesn't have an alibi.
Right?
Oh god, the accounts. Let's fucking see what all the accounts were about. I don't remember what exactly what you people said. Jesus. Alright, Mikan. Up until the announcement, she was with me. Sort of. Afterwards, she went to the hospital checking everyone, realized she was missing. And she left met up with Fuyuhiko at some point. I think his was one of them. Met Mikan from the hospital, they split up the search. They checked the movie theater and Electric Avenue. Didn't find anyone. They were separated for a short time. Hiyoko was distraught because her criminal was disheveled and she was unable to tie it on her own. Sonia told her about the full-length mirror. Okay.
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed
Except
at the
for
motel
Hiyoko,
doesn't have
yeah.
an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
The murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. Of course, she doesn't have an alibi for that time.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
I mean, Sonya, you don't,
And what
but I don't
about
think...
the others?
See, they're
Right
looking, they
before the
let
morning
somebody who
announcement.
has an alibi.
I was
Not
totally
somebody who
sleeping in
doesn't,
my
which is
motel
really
room.
kind of an odd way to take it.
I think
But
everyone
we'll
is
try
So
Mikon.
everyone is What about you guys? I was where I was supposed.
That's not an.
Aside from those afflicted by the if nobody has an alibi...
No, that's wrong!
Here we go.
Mikon!
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikon and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikon and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
I was trying to tell them that.
You wanted to say it?
Hey, what kind of
No, try
situation
not to
is
say it.
that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Which is very suspicious when you start looking back at all this shit. Oh, somebody's mad. Uh-oh.
Too much
Oh,
info.
no.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And then suddenly fell asleep.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Huh?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Then spit it out, potato. The killer had a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose? And what kind of trap is it? Oh wow, already?
I know, it felt a little short, right?
A lot short.
Hiya!
Why, hello there, Monami. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Stop it! Don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls!
And here's some chance time.
What's that?
Now then, Monami's appeal time starts now. Oh wait, it already ran out because she has none.
Oh! Appeal time?
Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a redheaded stepchild who's boss.
That's 99% your fault!
What you gonna do? While you are whining, your time's already running out. So please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so.
That's too long! It'll just be a boring appeal!
Come on! If your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way.
Then... I'm Usami, magical miracle girl Usami. I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk.
Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever.
And I have no clue what that was about whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is the first half of this trial. It was short. Throws me off a little bit. And I'm still on my same top suspect. So, I guess we'll have to see if I'm right or not in the next half. See you all then. Bye, everyone.
Later.